This is the second time I backed it up and missed this trailer. You really have three options. You can get a buddy to help you back it up. You can back it up till you hit the bumper, which I've done here already, or you can get a backup camera. We're gonna choose number 3. We're gonna put a backup camera on this pickup truck, and we're gonna accessorize it from the front all the way to the back today on Tech Garage. Welcome to Tech Garage, presented by Advance Auto Parts. Now, there's a lot of cool accessories you can put on your vehicle, and we're going to address quite a few of them right here in our Dodge Ram pickup truck. We're going to start at the rear of the truck. We're going to work our way all the way to the front, and you know this truck's going to look good.
And John, this truck is a prime candidate for some functional upgrades and accessories. At this stage of the game on a 2009 truck with high mileage, a lot of people tend to trade in the vehicle or replace it to get something new to them. We're going to use the right upgrades and do this in the right way so that this thing can go a lot more miles. You know, it's been kept in really good shape mechanically, and I think we're going to have an awesome truck here at the end of the project. We're going to start with a wireless backup camera, and I'll tell you more about that in a minute, but it's very easy to install.
Yeah, you know, and then we're going to go and put a tonneau cover in. Lund sent us a tonneau cover. You know, the bed's in pretty good shape. It's got a bed liner. You can put and haul whatever you want in there. You may want to go get an air compressor, whatever it is, but it's going to fit in there. It's going to tow with it, and it's going to look good.
Functionally beneficial. You know, we've got eyes behind the vehicle with the camera. We also want better vision down the sides of the vehicle once we're out on the road towing. So we're going to install new side mirrors that are actually a lot wider and give you better visibility down the fenders and the full length of the trailer, so anything we haul, we can be safer as we do it.
We'll head to the front of the truck. We actually have a Lund bull bar that's going to go on the front. You know, I love to look at those Dodge grills and the beefiness of them and how it is, so it's going to protect the grill first and foremost, but we also have some cool LED lighting that goes right in there. It's actually right from Lund. It's going to light up miles ahead. You're not going to have any problem with visibility.
I love those new LED lights. We're going to cap it off with some new Nerf bars that Lund gave us that go on the sides of the vehicle, and of course anybody can install these, and we're going to show anybody how they can take that project and be a little bit smarter about it.
Yeah, and I got a big surprise coming a little bit later that's really going to make it look good. But here's the deal. All that stuff's modular. You can take it off. This truck's been across the line. You could use it on the same Dodge pickup trucks. But you know, this owner, he actually loves this truck. So like you said, when he walks out in the morning, it's going to be like a brand new truck. I can't wait.
I got some wiring to do. I'm going to go ahead and get this rear camera installed.
Well, while you do that, I want to teach you on some good wire practices. So I'm going to head over and set up that demo.
So the first thing is the rear camera here from Peak just uses the license plate mounting bolts to install it. The bracket goes in very easily, but we've got to power this camera. So we're going to do that by tapping into the reverse bulb here. 2 bolts hold this rear lamp assembly in from Dodge, very easy to get to, and I'm going to go ahead and get that process underway.
Now let's establish some good wiring practices. Now, Peak actually gives you a connector just like this here. You can put both wires in, close it, you got a connection, you're good to go. But there's a couple other practices I would like to look at. Now, Brian, he's going to take a butt connector back there. He's going to put the 2 wires together, butt connect it, and then put some shrink wrap over it. That's fine too. Now we can take it to the next level. You can see right here, we can use some solder on the wires. This one actually has 3 connections here. You got a Western Union, you got a pigtail, and you got a T-type, but they're all soldered. And we'll go over here and put a butt connector together with some shrink wrap, and we'll solder it. So you'll have a foolproof, no resistance in the wire at all cable. And I'll show you how to do that. And what I did is I just took the actual butt connector here, and I like to just get the center portion out of it. So I'll take this little punch and I'll hit down on it, knock it down to the other side. When I get it there, it's tricky. You can use a razor and cut it. It might be a little more dangerous. Then what I'm going to do is take my pliers, hold on to the plastic portion, and then I'm just going to hit down on the pliers lightly, and hopefully the centerpiece will come right out. And that's what we're looking for. And we're going to use that to actually catch our solder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that, I'm going to put it on our wire right here. When I put it on our wire, I can go ahead and put the wire on the other side, and we're going to heat it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire up this torch. And then what we can do is I'm going to use this little arm here to position it into the heat. Now, solder is pretty cool. If you use rosin core solder for electrical, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on there, and you'll see the solder will actually wick towards the heat source. So there it goes. It's starting to fill it up. You can see it go in there. So what's happening? Well, the solder's making a complete joint all the way through there. All right. Once we do that, you get that joint filled up. I'll take my heat source away. When I take my heat source away, I'll just come over here and put a cold rag or damp rag on it. And what that's going to do is actually, that's it. You can't pull that apart. That's a tight wire connection, and there's going to be no resistance. Now to finish it off, I'm just going to get some shrink wrap, come over with my shrink wrap, put my shrink wrap on. Now if you have a connector, make sure you put the shrink wrap on first. Come over the wire harness itself, and then I'm going to protect any of that bare wire right there. Take my heat source once again, and I'm just going to heat up that shrink wrap. Now why do I want to do that? You may be dealing with computer circuits, you may be dealing with some low amp circuits. Right there, now I got a beautiful wire harness that has absolutely no resistance from one side to the other. It's not going to come apart. What you don't want to do is butt connect one that looks like this right here. You got all the wires out because the electricity is not going to flow through it. Our camera may not work proper, but once Brian gets that all taken care of, our camera is going to be in good shape.
That is great advice. All right, the rear backup camera here from Peak, 2 mounting bolts. I mentioned the license plate. I've got the second one in, got it snug. Go back and make sure we're good. Now, when you're installing a rear backup camera, a couple things to be considerate of. It's easy work, but you want to make sure that the tailgate clears. So as I look down here, I got plenty of room, over 1 inch of clearance. We're not going to disturb the camera. We're in good shape. We've got the wiring for the camera that's going to the lamp assembly run out of the way. It's not going to get pinched in the tailgate. There's no metal to wire contact anywhere along the way. I got a few zip ties up there to hold it in place. So with this back here, the next step is to power the camera. To do that, we come over and remove the lamp assembly. I've already got 1 bolt out. There's just 2 on our Dodge Ram. They back right out. You can see that the assembly is loose. So we're gingerly going to work it out. Now there's 2 kind of grommet supports right here. You don't want to over encourage this and break anything. Just slip it right out. And there we go. Now to give myself some room to work, I'm going to go ahead and remove both of the bulbs so I can get this lamp assembly out of the way. And I've pre-run the wire for the camera so that it's up into that same cavity. Set this out of the way. Now, snip and strip, positive and ground. Couldn't possibly be any easier. Again, I've got the camera wire right here, and this, you'll notice on the Peak wiring harness here, there's some good insulation on the outside. The back of the vehicle takes the brunt of everything. If it's a nice clean rain you're driving in, you got the dirtiest rain at the back of the vehicle. Snow, slush, salt, mud, sand, you know you've been there, right? So anywhere you've got an electrical connection, you want to make sure it's really well insulated and really well protected. This has a nice coating on it. Otherwise, I've been known to use a piece of vacuum tubing or fuel line I've got lying around to create just a little bit of a barrier between any metal and wire contact. We're in good shape here. So I'm going to go ahead and snip the positive, give myself plenty of lead on either side here. Snip and snip. Set that out of the way, strip it down. Again, we're going to use good connectors here with some heat shrink. More insulation keeps the connection tighter and better, more uniform. Expose yourself enough wire here that you can get a connector crimped down really tight. That's why I like to have the lamp assembly out of the way so I can get some torque on that connection and make sure we're in good shape. Okay, so I got my copper exposed. Another good tip is dielectric gel. That's nice because it's an insulator back here. And again, you can never have too much insulation when you've got vehicle wiring at the back of the vehicle. So let me find my camera harness. We're going to come right through here. I'm going to go ahead and work that slack wire back down and use a zip tie and crimp it off underneath as well. So black to black, red to red. Couldn't possibly be any easier. I'm going to get this buttoned up and crimped in, and I'm going to put some heat shrink on it. And you're going to see how awesome this is going to work after the break. Stay with us. More Tech Garage, presented by Advanced Auto Parts, is next.